We have a lot to get to on News 3 Now this morning, including election results from a hotly contested Supreme Court primary. We have new reaction from overnight from the winners.
And we have the latest track on that big winter storm. I'll break down what everyone in the viewing area should prepare for on this alert day.
We did get a little snow overnight, but there was a malfunction that forced Madison plow crews to skip a step to make the roads safer ahead of today's storm.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Josh Breiter. Kelly Slivka, how are you today?
Tired.
Yeah.
Boy, this
Talk
is
to him at the end of the day.
Yeah. Wacky forecast. I mean, this is the challenging part, is really figuring out where that line is going to be.
I always say we're always the tweener here. We're right in between either the heavy snow or the ice, and that's what we're going to see again today, and especially areas to the south could really see some significant icing develop. Right now we're seeing a little bit of light snow moving into the Madison area. You can see that's right over Dane County. We're right on top of the snow right here in Madison, but it does extend off to the west, kind of a stream moving in out of Iowa. A lot of moisture down in the south. You see this green and pink. That's that moisture that's headed northbound and interact with that cold air. Therefore, we're going to see a mixed bag of precipitation, mainly snow as you get up toward the Dells. A mix here in Dane County, areas to the east and west, then mainly freezing rain and sleet as you get toward the Illinois border. And they could see some significant icing down there. Therefore, they do have the ice storm warnings in effect until 6 o'clock tomorrow. Winter storm warnings to the north. So the snow will pick up in intensity. Then eventually by the mid-morning hours, we'll see that mixed with some sleet, freezing rain down in the south into the afternoon. It's going to be ongoing throughout the afternoon before starting to diminish a little bit later on this evening. So snow moving in already. Wintry mix for the noon hour. The roads will continue to deteriorate as we continue to pile up some of that sleet and snow. We'll talk more about this winter storm coming up.
All right, Kelly, thank you. To campaign 2023 this morning, we now know who is moving on to the spring election in April.
Nearly 1 million voters turned out yesterday for the state Supreme Court race watched across the country. Liberal Milwaukee Judge Janet Protasewicz was the top vote getter, claiming 46% of the vote. Coming in second, state Supreme Court candidate Dan Kelly. He claimed 24% of the vote. He was closely trailed by also conservative candidate Jennifer Doro, who got around 23,000 votes less.
The Madison mayoral race will see current Mayor Sati Rhodes-Conway and consulting firm leader Gloria Reyes on the ballot in April. Mayor Rhodes-Conway cleared 60%, while Reyes claimed 28% of the vote.
Well, the Supreme Court race is expected to get heated over the next few weeks as we head toward the general election now.
Candidates actually started last night using their victory speeches to take jabs at their new opponent. Political reporter Will Keneally was there.
Fresh off a narrow victory against fellow conservative Jennifer Doro, Kelly says that he's now turning his attention towards the general election campaign and his liberal opponent, Janet Protasewicz.
We're looking forward to talking with as many of our fellow Wisconsinites as we possibly can about the importance of our Constitution and how it protects our liberties and the grave and novel threat that Janet proposes to visit on our Supreme Court.
Protasewicz has talked about the values that she would bring to the Supreme Court, which has included freedom for a woman to choose on the issue of abortion or pushing for what she says is fairness for voters in legislative redistricting.
Throughout this race, I have been absolutely clear about what my values are. And that's because I believe the voters of this state deserve to know what a candidate's values are.
She's come out and said that she's all about her personal values, not the rule of law. She's promised to put her thumb on the scales of justice to make sure that cases come out the way she wants them to come out, rather than based on what the law commands.
There should not be a thumb on the scale. Everybody deserves a fair shot. But that's not what we're getting from our Supreme Court today.
And Kelly now faces Janet Protasewicz in that April 4th general election. Reporting from Waukesha County, Will Keneally, News 3 this morning.
WISC Politics reports outside groups have already spent an estimated $3.7 million on this race.
Yeah, total spending is on pace to top the $10 million record spent on the 2020 Supreme Court race. Election Day actually got off to a disruptive start in the village of Brooklyn. Their polling location had to change due to a public safety threat. It ended with a 75-year-old man getting arrested. Though the threat was not directed at the polling location, officials still thought the right decision was to move. The clerk treasurer says police were responding to an incident outside the polling place, making it tough for people to navigate.
I felt with the presence of the police and the difficulty getting to the polling place, because then there was only one entrance to get to the polling place, I felt it was better to move.
Deputies were sent to the area Tuesday for reports of shots fired over what we later learned was a dispute between neighbors about a tree. With this disruption, the polling place was moved down the street to Windy Lane, and voters were able to continue on with their day as planned.
Let's take a live look out on the roads this morning here at the Beltline and Fish Hatchery Road. Everything looking nice as the snow starts falling in Madison. Getting a little bit this morning. The big story, though, is later around the noon hour, when the really messy stuff is going to start in Madison. But we know this morning. Employees with Madison's Street Division tell us they unfortunately couldn't prep the roads with brine for the storm because of a trunk malfunction. However, the city roads are being treated with salt. They just can't do it with the brine. When it comes to the southern part of Dane County, though, ice is going to be a big concern. This is something that local energy companies are keeping an eye on.
They're continuously preparing for any event that could impact energy service. And so obviously with the winds, the snow, the cold that's forecasted over the next 24, 48 hours, we're making sure our equipment's in top working order so that we're ready and able to respond if need be.
Officials also say to check that your furnace and water heater vents are clear, and never bring a portable generator inside your house. That should the power go out. You want to keep that outside. You may also notice the city's trash and recycling pickup will start earlier than usual today.
Right now, the Postal Service is asking customers to clear snow and ice from sidewalks, stairs, and mailboxes. Customers receiving door deliveries should also make sure that their steps and porches are clear. Keep in mind, delivery service may be delayed due to hazardous conditions.
Madison fire officials are investigating a house fire that forced a couple people from their home. This happened yesterday afternoon in the Greenbush neighborhood on Drake Street. Someone walking by noticed the smoke, alerted the people inside, then called 911. Firefighters found smoke throughout the house. They made quick work of it all, though. They put that fire out in about 30 minutes after the call was made. There is extensive damage to the home this morning, but no one was hurt.
The defendant accused of shooting a man on Madison balcony is due in court today. Cameron Barber Smith faces attempted first-degree homicide in the case. Prosecutors say he shot a 21-year-old multiple times on May 5th at an apartment on Nakusa Trail. He was later arrested for parole violations during a traffic stop. Barber Smith has a plea hearing scheduled for 11:30 in Dane County Court.
Now to an update. Officials have identified the man who died after being hit by a train in Watertown late last week. 23-year-old Andrew Tucker from Watertown died in that crash. It happened around 6:30 Friday night near West Main and Hiawatha. Details about what led up to the crash have not been released, though. Police say there's no indication, though, of any criminal activity.
Developing now in Beloit, police have arrested Tyrone Young in what's now suspected domestic violence homicide. The family has identified the victim to us as 29-year-old Safana B. Busar. On January 18th of this year, a month before she was murdered, she filed a restraining order against Young in Dane County. She said Young was harassing her, needed help for mental health, threatened to take his own life if she didn't help, and tried to break into her home. The restraining order was dismissed. The presiding judge told us it was because neither party appeared in court. We talked to her sister.
He only could give me so much information, and he basically indicated that there was an incident with B and that she died. I literally just felt my heart just fall out of my body. Like I just felt like there was a big hole missing in my body. And I just totally lost it.
The victim's family tells us they were expecting the victim and her 5 children to come over for a family taco night, but she never showed up, leading to that call to police. 6:08 is your time. Coming up, meet a unique group of fitness lovers in the 6:08, how they're capitalizing on the capital city and getting active during the morning.
And Badger hockey preparing for tournament play where the stakes are much higher. What the men's and women's teams are focused on.
This President's Day, we're throwing a 5-star celebration at Bob's Discount Furniture. I've got on-trend styles, unbeatable prices, because the stars have aligned at Bob's.
It's Auto Show. The deals start now, and so should you. Get started on your next Ford SUV, like Bronco, Explorer, or the new Escape. Get here to get a deal on the SUV's #1 in brand loyalty. It's Auto Show. The deals start now, and so should you. During Auto Show, choose Flex Buy on Escape, Edge, or Explorer with 3.9% APR financing for 66 months plus 1,000 Auto Show cash.
This Wednesday, one day only, it's Hy-Vee's seafood sale. Get seasoned salmon portions, just $3.99. Shrimp skewers, just 99 cents. Hy-Vee Fish Market cooked shrimp, just $4.99. Sea Best tilapia fillets, just $3.99 a pound when you buy a 2-pound pack. Swai portions, 2 for just $4. And cornmeal breaded catfish nuggets for only $1.99 a pound when you buy a 10-pound pack. Wednesday only at Hy-Vee.
As a veteran of our country's armed services, you have already made the ultimate sacrifice. Why should you have to continue to do that? Through no fault of your own, you may be experiencing hardships, such as the inability to pay rent, utilities, or receive other life-sustaining services. And once again, you're called upon by your family to serve and protect. We want you to know we are here to support you. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin, with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. It's not easy to ask for a hand up, but we are clear in our mission. No Wisconsin veteran should ever have to face homelessness or lose heat, power, or water again. 833-WISC-VRAP. That's 833-947-8727.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now, the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to bruxnightguard.com and order yours today.
This President's Day, people are buzzing about my highly rated bedrooms, like my Tremont Queen bedroom set, my romantic Scarlet collection. Go glam with Diva 2. See what all the buzz is about this President's Day weekend at Bob's.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
6:12 on your Wednesday morning in the 608. We are highlighting a unique group of fitness lovers. You may have seen this group working out near the university and Capitol a couple of mornings a week. Photojournalist Mark Schilling takes us along for the run.
I'm awake! I'm awake! I'm alive! I'm alive! I'm alert! I'm alert! I'm enthusiastic! I'm enthusiastic!
I'm a co-leader at November Project Madison with my colleague Haley.
All right, listen up. Here's the workouts.
November Project is at its core a fitness movement, but it's much more than that. It's a community gathering space. People come, they want to work out, they want to run, but they also want to hang out with people, socialize.
Here in Madison, we've been doing it for 10 years, and we're really just like a community.
Bring it in nice and tight, circle up.
We have everyone from couch potatoes to people who've done the Ironman 5 times.
And the really beautiful thing about it is that we work out sort of in a circuit style, so no matter your pace,
You never feel like you're behind. You never feel like you just got lapped.
you're in the mix, you're crossing paths with people, saying hi, giving high fives.
And you can't really tell who's ahead or who's behind, and we do that on purpose. We want to make it fun, and we want to make it more adult recess-like, if that makes sense. You're a star! We're all stars! See, it's contagious.
Here in Madison, we work out twice a week on Wednesdays and Fridays. On Wednesdays, we're up here at Bascom Hill.
This hill is the great equalizer.
And on Fridays, we're at the Capitol Square.
The Capitol workouts, I would say, are easier. We do a lot more steps. It's flatter. We also get a lot more people on Fridays, so the energy feels a little bit different.
The weather definitely amps us up.
The bad weather thing is like our shtick.
I think that's sort of the beauty and like the just show up mentality.
That's another thing that forms here is that camaraderie, that we're in this together mentality.
No matter the weather, no matter how crappy it is, you have an excuse to get up because you know other people are going to be there too.
Grab a partner as you come in. We got one more thing. It just warms my heart when people who meet here just for like an hour on Wednesday and Friday mornings start to develop friendships outside of that, and it happens all the time. I think that's why people come here. Find a sense of community that maybe you can't get anywhere else.
Tell your partner you're glad you're here.
That was photojournalist Mark Schilling with that piece. You can find more information on the November Project in Madison by going to this story at channel3000.com.
Boy, what energy and enthusiasm.
Isn't that something? And, you know, we talk about winter in Wisconsin and that incoming snow. This doesn't even impact them. Like, they will still be out there this morning.
For it. Gosh.
628. Again, they're at Bascom Hill and also the Capitol Wednesdays and Fridays. So we got this idea because we're obviously live during this time of the morning.
You run into them,
and we always see them like, who are these people that are running around us and chanting and hollering and, you know, having a good time? And, yeah, we love to see that positive energy and getting moving.
Gosh, if you need some inspiration this morning, there you go.
There you
Thanks,
go,
Josh.
yeah.
Hey, remember to let Josh here know what inspires you in the 608. Reach out for a chance to be featured.
Kelly Slifka's here now with your alert day forecast. Boy, today's looking dicey, Kelly.
Yeah, definitely going to be going downhill as we go through the morning hours, then into the afternoon. This alert day goes right into tomorrow morning. Mainly north of Dane County as you get up toward the Dells, it's going to be mainly snow. There might be a little bit of sleet mixed in. Once you get into Dane County, the Madison area, we're talking about a mix of some snow, some sleet and snow, then a little bit of freezing rain on top of that. That'll continue right through the morning. Heavy snow to the north of the Dells, and we'll look at a mix here in the Dane County area with significant ice accumulation in Greene and Rock County. Some of that may creep into southern Dane County, also southern Jefferson County. Right now, we are seeing a little bit of light snow. You can just see that narrow band right now moving through the Madison area. It's been pretty light. Roads are just mainly wet this morning as we continue to see some of that light snow moving through Madison. 27 right now in Madison, 30 in Janesville, so have dipped below freezing now in Janesville, 30 in Monroe, 25 in the Dells. Right now across Dane County, we've got 26 in Sauk City, 27 in Waunakee. As you head into the northern parts of the county, you might see a little bit more snow than what downtown Madison and definitely more than southern parts of the county. So quite a transition right across the Madison area, the Dane County area. So we've got this storm system moving northward. It's bringing all the moisture with it. It's running into that cold air, so that warm air rides up and over that cold dome of air, and that's why we are expecting some icing problems, ice storm warnings for Rock and Greene County over to Walworth County. This will go into effect until tomorrow morning. Winter storm warnings for Madison areas to the north with the heaviest snow staying to the north. But we'll see that mix. You can see our future track as we go through the mid to late morning hours of snow, changing over to some sleet, or at least mixing with some sleet. Freezing rain developing here along the Illinois border, mainly snow north of the Dells into the noon hour. And it's going to be pretty solid throughout the afternoon, so the travel is going to become more and more difficult as we get through the afternoon. A lot of this will start to lift to the north as we head into the late evening hours toward 10 o'clock. But I think we'll get one last dose of some snow before everything starts to wind down come tomorrow morning. But then we got the winds to deal with on the backside of that system. Significant icing, maybe upwards of a quarter to a half down to the south, and maybe even a little bit of icing in the Madison area. And snowfall really ramps up the further north you go, upwards of a foot as you get up toward Camp Douglas. So your first warm forecast alert day today and tomorrow. Temperatures hovering in the low 30s through the next 24 to 36 hours, then dropping into the teens. So some of that ice that does form, not going to be melting on Friday. We get a little bit of a hope for that on Saturday and Sunday as we climb back into the 30s.
All right, Kelly Slifka's got his work cut out for him today. Thanks, Kelly. Here's Sports Director Zach Hanley with your morning sports.
Everything up to this point for the Badger women's hockey team. Their fast start, the 5-game skid we don't like to talk about, and how they've skated the last 2 series all means nothing. It's playoff time in the WCHA. Up first for Wisconsin, a best-of-3 series with Minnesota State, a team who UW owned this season. They outscored them 18-4 in just 4 games. But Mark Johnson knows in the postseason anything can happen, which is why it truly is the best time of the year.
Everybody has 0 losses and 0 wins, and now who can win 2 games? And if you're able to do that, then you get to go the following week up to Minneapolis, and you know, you play 2 games up there. If you're successful, you win a trophy. So then you get a free ticket to the NCAA tournament. So there's a lot to play for. It happens quickly, and that's the fun part about it. So to answer your question, it's a great time of year, playoff hockey.
This weekend is the final week of the regular season for the Badger men's hockey team, and when they head into the Big Ten tournament, they'll be skating with confidence because they've beaten every team in conference except Penn State, who they'll face Friday and Saturday. So just like the past couple weeks, Tony Granato's squad is treating the regular season finale like the playoffs, and they're heading into Happy Valley buzzing.
We go into playoffs, we know the team that we will play, that we have had success against them, and it's time to buckle down and recognize the fact that every little detail, whether it be the first shift of the game or first shift of the period or the last shift, it doesn't matter. They're all important, and that's the focus that we'll have to have.
High school boys hockey, Edgewood hosting Middleton in a sectional semifinal. Cardinals were on the attack in the first. Ethan Lamb wraps it around to Brady Engelkiss, who paints the post to give Middleton a 1-0 lead. Second period, though, Edgewood was buzzing. Will Hartman tied it, and then this is just filthy from Dylan Lenz. He dekes and then slides it to Easton Kinsler, who lights the lamp. Crusaders get the 3-1 win. They'll face Verona with the winner heading to state. On the girls' side, Madison Metro hosting Badger in a sectional semifinal. Lynx up 1-0 and looking for more in the second period. Emma Stebbins skates right through the Lightning and goes corner pocket to make it a 2-goal game. Madison Metro goes on to win 4-0. They'll face Viroqua in the sectional finals. Back to you.
Thank you, Zach. Coming up, you'll never believe what the first generation iPhone just sold for.
And coming up in our next half hour, we have some new developments in an investigation surrounding a local pool instructor and how his employer responded to the groping complaints. Stay with us.
Call for action only on News 3 Now.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
My name is Mike Williams. I've been driving school bus off and on for 21 years. Here at our terminal, we're kind of like a family too. Somebody has an issue with a bus, other people kick in and help and get the job done.
Ashley's President's Day Mattress Blowout event is ending soon. It's your last chance to save up to 75% on mattress doorbusters from the top brands while they last. Or save big on Purple and Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets, only at Wisconsin's #1 mattress retailer, Ashley.
When the weather gets cold, springs break.
Fixing broken garage doors, that's all we do here at Precision.
Our vehicles are literally like a warehouse on wheels. We can fix a broken spring the same day and get you on your way.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Backed by popular demand, Black Violin returns to Overture Center for one night only. Be prepared. This isn't your typical classical violin concert. Black Violin, Thursday, March 2nd at Overture. Get your tickets today at overture.org.
Hi, I'm Tim O'Brien, owner of The Healthy Place. I'm excited to tell you about our new Wild Theory CBD products that will get you high fives from everyone you know. Wild Theory's new groundbreaking formula has higher levels of the good stuff, and it packs surprising results. Is it legal in Wisconsin? Of course! Is it potent? You bet. Will you love it? I'm sure of it. Stop by one of our Madison locations or visit findyourhealthyplace.com, type in high five, and our website will hook you up.
I just got the new Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra from US Cellular. With the most powerful processor yet, it can game smoother than ever. With nightography, it can take selfies in low light. Click. And with a longer battery life and US Cellular's 5G network, it can stream my favorite shows around the clock.
Amazing. Can it go back in the back?
Yeah, it can go back into the bank.
Okay. Did you just kiss the phone?
The new Samsung Galaxy S23. Free for everyone from US Cellular.
I kissed it? Yes.
You can't buy happiness, but you can buy an RV at Wisconsin RV World, and that's pretty darn close. Find your happiness during their RV Super Sale this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday only. Save over $30,000 on this new Heartland fifth wheel. Get this Keystone Springdale for as low as $185 a month, or this Cruiser Radiance for only $240 a month. Plus, get a 1-year no-charge camping pass with every RV purchase.
Wisconsin RV World. If it doesn't say Wisconsin, it's just another RV dealer.
It's your last chance to shop Ashley's biggest President's Day sale. Get the guaranteed lowest prices of the season, starting at 30% and up to 60% off furniture and mattress doorbusters. Plus 60-month special financing and delivery in as fast as 3 days on in-stock merchandise. Sale ends Tuesday at Ashley.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobuson, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobuson.com to apply.
We're back at 6:24. A big amount that an iPhone just got. Remember those first iPhones from, what, 2007? First generation iPhone just sold at auction for, what was it? More than $63,000.
Can you imagine? That's more than 100 times its original cost of $599. The box had never been opened. The original iPhone offered early Apple adopters a 3.5-inch screen with a 2-megapixel camera, plus 4 or 8 gigabyte storage options. It also offered internet capabilities in iTunes. It had no app store, ran on 2Gs, and was exclusive to AT&T's network.
Remember when we just had 2Gs?
2Gs.
How many do we have now?
Life was
6
so rough when we only had 2Gs.
Who would buy an iPhone and just not open it up? Someone that was smarter than me, I guess.
Somebody that was really smart. I remember it took me.
Just forgot about it.
Yeah, it took me like 5 or 6 years before I hopped on the smartphone train, and now of course we're inseparable. But
my wife and I were just talking about those old flip phones when you had to like press the number like 4 times to get to the letter that you wanted to text.
Remember those wonderful pictures those things took?
Oh, they were, well, back then they were incredible. Like just getting a picture on your phone was something else.
I'd like to compare a photo from the original iPhone to like where we are now. Are we iPhone 14? I can't even keep track.
Yeah, big change.
Yeah. Gosh, it doesn't seem like to me that long ago that these iPhones came out. But,
what, 16 years?
Gosh, yeah, it's been a minute. All right, let's get to Kelly Slifka now on your first warn forecast. He's got a lot to talk about today. Big storm.
Yeah, we are tracking some light snow that's moving through southern Wisconsin right now. It's fairly light, but may reduce visibilities a little bit. That'll pick up in intensity through the mid-morning hours, say 9, 10 o'clock. It'll start to mix with some sleet, especially Madison to the south. Some heavier snows up toward the Dells. Windy as well with those northwest winds up there around 15 to 25.
All right, we're going to keep tracking it. Plus, we'll have new reaction from overnight from yesterday's primary. We're back after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
It would appear that the butler did it. But this isn't a whodunit film. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get a low $359 per month lease on the 2023 Nissan Rogue.
Catch these offers while you can.
Share your love of the game with a surprise move. Kinder Joy. A yummy treat. And an all-star lineup of NBA mascot toys for your favorite fan. Kinder Joy.
Do you suffer with pain, numbness, and tingling in the hands or feet? Commonly diagnosed as peripheral neuropathy? Are you taking drugs such as Lyrica or gabapentin that have serious side effects and often do not relieve your symptoms? Your doctor has told you you may just have to live with the pain. Peripheral neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves, often causing burning, weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and the most debilitating balance problems. Our facility uses multiple therapeutic methods to help give you relief from neuropathy symptoms with no injections and no drugs. You may start seeing relief after only a few sessions. To determine if your neuropathy symptoms can be relieved, we will do a consultation to evaluate the extent of your condition. Call us today to schedule your neuropathy consultation to find out if you're a candidate for our therapy. Call today.
Get 11% off everything at Menards. Upgrade your home with new outlets from LeGrand, including these new USB outlets. Charge more of your devices without the need for bulky AC adapters. Pick up this LeGrand USB outlet today for just $29.99 after rebate. Transform your space with a fresh coat of paint. Lucite is an interior acrylic latex paint that delivers good coverage and washability at a fantastic price of $9.78 after rebate at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
At Overture, February 21st through 26th, tickets at overture.org.
The Wisconsin Fishing Expo returns to the Alliant Energy Center in Madison February 24th through the 26th, stocked with over 330 booths, plus nearly every fishing boat imaginable. Load up with deals now. It's the Wisconsin Fishing Expo's largest seminar roster ever, with topics for almost any species, over 20 seminars. Check out kids' activities, including the trout pond, fish bingo, and bumper boats. Go to wifishingexpo.com for details. Sponsored by Wisconsin Outdoor News, Blackfish, Daiwa, Lucas Oil, Acme, the Big 1070, and Don's Marine.
It would appear that the butler did it. But this isn't a whodunit film. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select models.
Catch these offers while you can.
It's the first warned weather alert day. I have the latest track on that big winter storm and what everyone in the viewing area should get ready for.
Also this morning, moving on to April. We have clear results this morning on the spring primary, including new reaction from the winners of the Supreme Court race.
Good Wednesday morning, folks. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Breiter.
And I'm Chris Stanford. Kelly Slick with your first warned forecast. And we are in for it starting later this morning, Kelly.
Yeah, this is really going to be affecting a lot of the upper Midwest. We're going to be kind of right in between the rain-snow line, if you will. Therefore, we're going to see some icing probabilities for some folks, while areas to the north are going to see some heavy snow. Madison right in between. Therefore, we do have a first warned weather alert day today, right through tomorrow morning. Mainly snow north of Dane County, a little bit of mix in there. In Madison area, Dane County, we're looking at that snow, sleet, a little bit of freezing rain, and then primarily freezing rain and sleet as you get down toward Rock, Greene County, and maybe even into southern parts of Jefferson County. Significant icing expected down there. All right, we have seen a little bit of light snow tracking through Madison, but it's just enough, maybe reducing visibility. You might need those wipers this morning as you're headed out. Brush off some of that light snow. Starting to see that moisture really start to develop down to our south. That's going to be moving on in and riding up over that cold air that we have at the surface, and that's why we're going to see some significant icing, freezing rain and sleet down in the south to southern counties. We'll see that mix right in Dane County, Jefferson County, down toward Iowa and Grant County. Then as you get up to the north, looking at mainly snow and some heavier snow, especially north of the Dells. So we'll see the snow continue to pick up in intensity. Some of that mixing with some sleet and freezing rain, mainly down to the south. But we'll continue to see this steady throughout the afternoon hours and really not tapering off until we get after 9, 10 o'clock. So it's going to be going downhill as we get into the afternoon hours. But even into the mid to late morning hours, some of that snow mixing with some of that sleet and maybe some freezing rain. It's also going to be blustery with those east to northeast winds up there at 15 to 25.
All right, Kelly Slivka, thanks a lot. Stay on top of the alert day yourself by downloading the First Warned Weather app. Just search for WISC Weather in your app store. Now to campaign 2023, we have results from the spring primary and who's moving on to the April election.
Voter turnout reached nearly 1 million Wisconsinites as all eyes around the country are looking to see if the GOP would maintain its supermajority or if the courts would flip. For the Supreme Court race, liberal Milwaukee Judge Janet Protasewicz was the top vote getter, claiming 46% of the vote. The second Supreme Court candidate moving on, former Supreme Court member and conservative Dan Kelly. He claimed 24%. He was closely trailed by also conservative candidate Jennifer Duro, who received around 23,000 votes less.
In the race for Madison mayor, Saatchi Rhodes Conway will be moving on. So will consulting firm leader Gloria Reyes. They'll be on the ballot in April. Rhodes Conway cleared 60% of the vote, while Reyes claimed 28%. And the Supreme Court results, those still leaves the balance of the court up in the air this morning.
Shane Hogan is here with new reaction from overnight on the winners. And Shane, those candidates already taking jabs at each other.
Yeah, that's right, Josh. Janet Protasewicz and Dan Kelly already positioning themselves against one another, giving us a sign of what to expect for the next month and a half as they try to win over voters for the April election. The leading vote getter of this primary was the liberal-leaning Milwaukee County Judge Janet Protasewicz, and she got there by taking what some would call an unconventional approach by talking directly about the issues head-on and the values that she will bring to the Supreme Court.
Throughout this race, I have been absolutely clear about what my values are, and that's because I believe the voters of this state deserve to know what a candidate's values are.
Protasewicz's April opponent, conservative-leaning Dan Kelly, taking a jab, saying Protasewicz is putting personal values over the law.
She's come out and said that she's all about her personal values, not the rule of law. She's promised to put her thumb on the scales of justice to make sure that cases come out the way she wants them to come out, rather than based on what the law commands.
And in response to that, Protasewicz says everybody deserves a fair shot and that she will represent that in the state's highest court. Now, all eyes turn to the April 4th general election, where Protasewicz and Kelly will face off to determine who gets that open seat on the Supreme Court and how it will vote on issues in Wisconsin for years to come. We're keeping an eye on this for the next few weeks, guys, and we've already seen these two go at it, and you know, just going to ramp up here as we get closer to April.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot at stake here to talk about over the next 6 weeks or so. Thanks, Shane.
There were some claims that precincts were running out of ballots in Dane County. A county official assured us that none of the precincts ran out of paper ballots, only some pre-printed ballots. The official also said that no voter was turned away and the process went smoothly.
And a reminder, the spring general election is April 4th. For all the results from the spring primary, big and small, you can find them on channel3000.com, as well as all of our election coverage, including interviews of the candidates.
More news at 6:35. A defendant in a kidnapping and murder case is scheduled to be in court today. Jesse Freiberg is charged with 2 others in this case. It started in Madison and ended near Portage. Prosecutors say Freiberg shot the victim, but it was Laura Johnson who was the mastermind. One accomplice testified the argument was with the victim over money, and they held the victim hostage with a box cutter, then drove to Columbia County and shot him. Freiberg has an arraignment at 10 this morning.
This morning, we have an update to a story we brought you yesterday about an Oregon community pool instructor known as James Miker. He faces charges of sexual assault. A new criminal complaint alleges the pool delayed disciplinary action because of staffing shortages, despite multiple complaints.
The first alleged assault happened July 18th of last year when Miker allegedly groped an underage student during a backfloat. The second similar instance happened on July 27th, which led to a police report and Miker being placed on administrative leave. Miker is charged with 2 counts of sexual assault of a child under 16 years of age. His preliminary hearing will be held Friday.
A newly introduced bill is looking to eliminate patient cost sharing for breast imaging services. This bill requires health insurance policies to provide coverage with no patient cost sharing for supplemental breast screening examinations for an individual who's at increased risk of breast cancer. It also applies to diagnostic breast examinations for women requiring follow-up imaging due to an abnormal mammogram result.
Any cost barrier at this point could be the difference between a breast cancer that's detected early, when it's most treatable, and when it's already spread beyond the breast. So thank you.
Under current state law, health insurance policies are required to provide 2 mammographic screenings for women aged 45 to 49 under certain criteria, and 1 annual screening to women over 50 at no out-of-pocket cost to the patient. However, for women with dense breast tissue, the average out-of-pocket cost for diagnostic or supplemental breast screenings can be more than $1,000.
Watch this at 6:37. If you're a dog owner, you may have used a walker to help your 4-legged friend get plenty of exercise. But in New York, finding a dog walker may not be a walk in the park. Some owners in New York say they are paying over $600 a month. Some walkers in the Big Apple are claiming a 6-figure income in an astonishingly $9.5 billion industry.
Man,
that's a lot of money.
Hey, $600, that's a lot.
Why not?
Hey, making 6 figures walking dogs, that sounds pretty nice.
And imagine the stories from each dog walk.
Oh,
There's got to be something.
There are worse ways to make money.
Seriously.
6:37. Let's take a look outside this morning. It's an alert day. Over 130 schools have called off for what's to come today. We're going to get the latest track on that big storm right after this.
Winter storms impact how Minnesota is preparing for one of the largest snowstorms in its history.
Right now, get an extra 25% off Slumberland's low prices during the final week of our huge President's Sale. Come see our special offers throughout the store. The final week of our huge President's Sale at Slumberland Furniture with an extra 25% off.
Garage doors do not like the cold weather at all. As soon as it gets cold springs, parts will burn.
At Precision, we can fix any make or model, usually the same day. Rain, sleet, or snow, we're good to go.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Introducing Astapro Allergy. Now available without a prescription. Astapro is the first and only 24-hour steroid-free spray. While Flonase takes hours, Astapro starts working in 30 minutes. So you can Astapro and go.
This Wednesday, one day only, it's Hy-Vee's seafood sale. Get seasoned salmon portions, just $3.99. Shrimp skewers, just 99 cents. Hy-Vee Fish Market cooked shrimp, just $4.99. Sea Best tilapia fillets, just $3.99 a pound when you buy a 2-pound pack. Swy portions, 2 for just $4. And cornmeal breaded catfish nuggets for only $1.99 a pound when you buy a 10-pound pack. Wednesday only at Hy-Vee.
I've never been afraid to express myself, to create a life I love. I worried cancer could steal my spark and become my identity. But UW Health designed custom treatments just for me. And now, my legacy, it's still in the making. Because standard, well, that's never been my style. UW Health, remarkable.
Right now, get an extra 25% off Slumberland's low prices during the final week of our huge President's Sale. Come see our special offers throughout the store. The final week of our huge President's Sale at Slumberland Furniture with an extra 25% off.
For 20% of its victims, the fallout from concussion can last months or years.
It affects their work, their family life. It affects everything.
News 3 Now, Charlotte Deleste shares her personal battle with the invisible injury. Thursday at 10. News 3 Now, First Warn Weather. When severe weather is on the way, find out first with Madison's certified most accurate forecast. Trust our team to keep you informed before, during, and after. First Warn Weather, keeping you safe and ahead of the storms. You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Well, ahead of this storm system coming into the area, Minnesota is preparing for one of the largest snowstorms in history. Snow emergencies declared back-to-back as the Twin Cities are expecting to get about somewhere between 1 foot and 2 feet of snow. City officials say students will be learning online in lieu of snow days today and tomorrow. Although Friday is a different story.
On Friday, we will have a snow day. Some people call it an old school snow day. With no e-learning. This will allow families and staff to have time away.
The storm started in the Twin Cities last night and is expected to last through tomorrow morning. The entire Midwest is going to be affected, as Kelly Slifka has been tracking this thing and telling us about it for several days now. This has been on your radar for a while. So where are we sitting this morning, Kelly?
Yeah, we've seen some of the light snow move in. Snow is not going to be so much of an issue for Madison areas to the south, but you can see how it really ramps up as you get into west central Wisconsin, then over toward the Twin Cities in a wide swath of some really heavy snow. 15 inches plus, as mentioned. There will be some locations that will come in with 24 inches when all is said and done by tomorrow afternoon. So it's really going to be impacting much of the upper Mississippi Valley, obviously causing headaches for travelers and also people on air flights or traveling by way of road. Basically impossible in the Twin Cities metro area. We have the alert day, the first warn alert day going through tomorrow morning. We're looking at mainly snow north of Dane County as you get up toward the Dells. Columbia County, snow mix here in Dane County, here in the Madison area, then down to the south in Rock and Greene County, southern Jefferson County, a mix of some sleet and freezing rain. Heavy snow, though, once you get north of the Dells, maybe upwards of 1 foot. Significant ice accumulation down toward Janesville and Monroe, maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch of ice accumulation. That'll cause, obviously, problems on some of the trees, breaking some limbs, and the power lines. Obviously, the roads are going to be treacherous as well. We've had some light snow moving through the Madison area. Not amounting to too much, may just need to use the wipers headed off to work. Most kids don't have school today, but if you do, you're going to encounter some of that light snow this morning. Everybody down below freezing. We're down to 30 in Monroe and Janesville, 27 currently in Madison across Dane County. Pretty uniform temperatures. We may rise a couple of degrees from where we're at now, but I would not expect to go above freezing probably until we hit Saturday afternoon. So we're going to be under 32 for a while. All this moisture headed northbound, running into that cold air, and that's why we do have the ice storm warnings down in the south. That's in effect until 6 o'clock Thursday morning. Winter storm warnings for Madison areas to the north. Mix of sleet and snow here in Madison. Mainly snow as you get north of the Dells. So we'll see the snow pick up in intensity during the morning hours as we get in the mid to late morning hours, say after 9 o'clock toward noon. Some of that's starting to mix with some sleet and some freezing rain, especially along the Illinois border. Noticing temperatures stay below freezing. A lot of this will start to wind down after 9 o'clock, at least start to move up to the north. We get one last hurrah with mainly some light snow tomorrow morning. Then everything moves on to the east. Then we just have to deal with some wind. So as far as the icing, we're looking at maybe a quarter to a half of an inch here in Rock toward Monroe County, maybe even moving into southern Dane, Jefferson County, into southern Iowa County. As far as snowfall, through the afternoon, not too much, maybe an inch or so in the Madison area, 1 to 2 inches. But as we go through the evening hours, 2 to 4, 3 to 4 in the Madison area, much less to the south once you get up toward Baraboo and areas to the north, talking about some significant snow. Alert days today, tomorrow, temperatures hovering right around freezing if we're lucky. Then we'll really cold but dry Friday. Just a quick moving system will bring us about some light snow Friday evening. Otherwise, generally dry this weekend. Another system, maybe a little bit of mix Sunday night, and then mainly just rain, it looks like, by next Monday.
All right, Kelly, thank you. 6:45 now on your Wednesday. In the 608 this morning, we are highlighting a unique group of fitness lovers. You may have seen them working out near the university and Capitol a couple of mornings a week. Photojournalist Mark Schilling takes us along for the ride.
I'm awake! I'm awake! I'm alive! I'm alive! I'm alert! I'm alert! I'm enthusiastic! I'm enthusiastic!
I'm a co-leader at November Project Madison with my colleague Haley.
All right, listen up. Here's the workouts.
November Project is at its core a fitness movement, but it's much more than that. It's a community gathering space. People come, they want to work out, they want to run, but they also want to hang out with people, socialize.
Here in Madison, we've been doing it for 10 years, and we're really just like a community.
Bring it in nice and tight, circle up.
We have everyone from couch potatoes to people who've done the Ironman 5 times.
And the really beautiful thing about it is that we work out sort of in a circuit style, so no matter your pace,
You never feel like you're behind. You never feel like you just got lapped.
you're in the mix, you're crossing paths with people, saying hi, giving high fives.
And you can't really tell who's ahead or who's behind, and we do that on purpose. We want to make it fun, and we want to make it more adult recess-like, if that makes sense. You're a star! We're all stars! See, it's contagious!
Here in Madison, we work out twice a week on Wednesdays and Fridays. On Wednesdays, we're up here at Bascom Hill.
This hill is the great equalizer.
And on Fridays, we're at the Capitol Square.
The Capitol workouts, I would say, are easier. We do a lot more steps, it's flatter. We also get a lot more people on Fridays, so the energy feels a little bit different.
The weather definitely amps us up.
The bad weather thing is like our shtick.
I think that's sort of the beauty and like the just show up mentality.
That's another thing that forms here is that camaraderie, that we're in this together mentality.
No matter the weather, no matter how crappy it is, you have an excuse to get up because you know other people are going to be there too.
Grab a partner as you come in. We got one more thing. It just warms my heart when people who meet here just for like an hour on Wednesday and Friday mornings start to develop friendships outside of that, and it happens all the time. I think that's why people come here. Find a sense of community that maybe you can't get anywhere else.
Tell your partner you're glad you're here.
That was photojournalist Mark Schilling with that piece. You can find more information on the November Project in Madison by going to this story at channel3000.com.
You want to start doing that in the morning?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we don't have to like go out for the run and work out or anything. We can just hop up and down in the newsroom and scream.
Are you enthusiastic?
Scream the chants like that to get us in the spirit.
Hey, it's all about the positive energy, right?
They've got it in spades.
You start your day
incredible.
with that, especially on like a weird weather morning like that. I mean, nothing stops them. That's what's amazing.
Yeah, keep it going. It's got me energized this morning. That's for sure. Josh is always looking for inspirational stories to share in the 608. Just reach out to him for a chance to be featured. Coming up in the morning sprint, new video from where a rare February tornado possibly touched down.
In campaign 2023, we're tracking your primary results and what the ballot will look like come spring.
Yeah, if you've got a little kiddo turning 3 soon, let us know so we can show their picture on TV. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
At Stanton Optical, independent eye doctors are available for eye exams whenever you need one. You should have seen me before I got mine. You're so quiet. Are you mad at me? Book your free same-day eye exam at Stanton Optical today.
This President's Day, we're throwing a 5-star celebration at Bob's Discount Furniture, making it super easy to shop my top-rated products. I've got on-trend styles, unbeatable prices, thousands of highly rated and reviewed pieces ready to ship now. So this President's Day, ditch the gimmicks and phony sales because the stars have aligned at Bob's. The reviews are in. Shop Bob's for style, value, and quality.
DePaco Credit Union protects your well-being, supports you through life's many surprises. Because when our members love life, it makes a brighter community for all. DePaco can help you be well.
People remember ads with a catchy song. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's a little number you'll never forget.
Customize and save.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
The sun has risen, the pride has returned, and the time has come to join the circle of life at the Lion King.
Coming to Overture Center May 11th through 28th. Tickets on sale now at overture.org.
A supper club, a place that serves supper. We started off with a house coffee, garden salad, a potatoes au gratin, bacon wrapped scallops. Hello, little friends. Old fashioned. That's superior.
It's never been a better time for a fresh start with Feldco.
Jumpstart your home's upgrade this month with 40% off Feldco windows, siding, doors, and roofing. Plus, no money down and no interest until 2024. Warmer weather's on its way. Get your home ready now and enjoy your windows all season long.
Make your home feel new again with Feldco. But hurry, 40% off ends Tuesday. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We did the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $400 at Lens Crafters, over $200 at Walmart, and over $150 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
Wisconsin RV World. Super sale this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday only.
6:52 on the nose, time for the morning sprint.
Well, we have your spring primary results this morning. We know who's headed to the April election in the Supreme Court race. It'll be Janet Protasewicz and Dan Kelly. Protasewicz took 46% of the vote. Kelly got 24%, and in the race for Madison mayor, incumbent Saatchi Rhodes Conway with 60% of the vote yesterday. Gloria Reyes will move on as well. She got 28%.
Former Wisconsin Governor Tony Earl suffering a stroke this week and is now receiving palliative care. That's according to his oldest daughter, Julia. The 86-year-old served one term as Wisconsin governor from 1983 to 87. Earl is one of the 6 living former Wisconsin governors.
Officials in Minnesota calling this upcoming storm a historic weather event. Some parts of central Minnesota, including the Twin Cities, could get as much as 2 feet. The Minnesota Director of Homeland Security says the weather could be extremely life-threatening. and at this point wants residents to prepare, not panic.
New Jersey residents are picking up this morning after a series of rare February tornado warnings and a possible touchdown. Trees were torn from their roots and different homes suffered severe damage. National Weather Service is still not sure whether a tornado touched down or not.
After a 7-month probe into the 2020 election, a Georgia grand jury is now recommending multiple indictments. Specifics were not given, but members admitted that former President Donald Trump's name did come up several times. The decision now rests on the Fulton County District Attorney to review the recommendation and make charging decisions.
Norfolk Southern has been ordered by the EPA to pay for the cleanup of the derailment in Ohio. If Norfolk fails to comply with the order, the EPA would do the jobs themselves and fine Norfolk 3 times the cost. Donald Trump visited the site and said Norfolk was arrogant and incompetent.
In New York, civil rights attorney Ben Crump announced the family of Malcolm X will be suing the New York government for concealing evidence on his murder. It's been 58 years since Malcolm X's assassination. He was shot 21 times while speaking at the Audubon Ballroom in front of his wife and daughters. He was just 39 years old.
Should be no doubt. Our support for Ukraine will not waver.
President Biden reaffirming U.S. support of Ukraine nearly a year after Russia's invasion of the country while visiting Poland. The speech comes just hours after Russian President Vladimir Putin announced a withdrawal from a nuclear arms control pact. Biden is the first U.S. president to visit a war zone with no U.S. troops on the ground.
Venice canals are experiencing unusually low tides with the new lowest level recorded. It happened Sunday at over 2 feet below average. Many canals in the Leonardo da Vinci-inspired floating city have gone dry. The low levels are being blamed on changing tides and dry weather. The city's prominent form of transportation over the waterways was majorly disrupted.
There has been a 101% increase online regarding UFOs over the last 30 days. With the growing reports of all things alien, Wisconsin has seen a 28% increase of Google searches. But when looking at the state compared to the rest of the country, we place at number 48 for the least amount. There were only 22 searches per 1,000 people. Vermont had the most.
And we wrap up with some cuteness here. Fat Tuesday in the books. In Mardi Gras inspired New Orleans, these babies here got all dressed up for the occasion. Of course, Mardi Gras and Fat Tuesday all about indulging before the 40-day season of Lent starts.
All right, good morning. 5 minutes away from 7 o'clock. First warn meteorologist Kelly Slifka, as we're starting to see some light snow continue to spread from southwest to northeast, right from Platteville toward Madison. It's been fairly light right now, but it will pick up in intensity as we go through the mid-morning hours. About 9, 10 o'clock, we'll start to see some of this mix with a little bit of sleet, especially southern Dane County down toward the Illinois border. Snow will start to pick up in intensity up toward the Adele. So planning your day, it's going to be blustery as well with some snow this morning, picking up in intensity, mixing with a little bit of sleet, and that will continue right through tomorrow morning. So the alert days continue. Dry Friday, cold yet, but we warm up in time for the weekend. Temperatures back in the mid to upper 30s.
Definitely a smart day to just stay inside.
Yeah, especially later this afternoon, this evening. It could get dicey.
All right, Kelly, thank you. Stay safe out there, folks. We're back with a live update at 7:26.